My name is Seraphina, the masked lady. I was once human. Since then, I have lived many lives. I have been loved and reviled, adored and despised, been the child of a poor prostitute and a courtesan revered by thousands. When I was a child, a stranger with no face offered me the ability to move between the worlds. Since then, my every death has led to a new life. I once had a true love. He was ripped away from me when I was murdered in the 18th century. I search for him still. In the meantime, I walk in the shadows behind the universe, visiting realms both exquisite and terrible and bringing back stories and rhymes to amaze the mind and enchant the ear. Through my YouTube channel, I send the stories out into the world, hoping that my true love will hear them and reply. Hoping, if he does not, that I will find in the other souls who listen kindred spirits to help ease the pain. What of you, stranger? Did you come here tonight seeking a mystery? Do you hunger for a spark of excitement, for the dark thrill of fear? Will you listen as my tales unfold, knowing that some may very well take on lives of their own? Consider, stranger, whether you have the courage to walk between the worlds with Seraphina, the masked lady. Good evening, darling ones, and a very big hello from me. I hope that you are all well and happy this evening. Today's video is a bit of a departure from the norm. Last week, we shared poems about love and magic. This week, I have decided to start the spooks and scares a few months early by unearthing poems designed to make us shake and shudder. So, take my hand and walk with me to a place where hidden things shift in the darkness of night, and not one shadow is safe. Don't worry, I will be right beside you. What will walk behind you? Well, I make no promises on that. Fear of the dark. Dawn wakens on the misty hills and drives the night away, bathing the undulating land in the pure light of day, and away from innocent souls. Drives back what causes fright, and we are safe for a short time, until the coming night. What shall we do when empty black eclipses sacred glow? Oh, who shall our poor souls defend when darkness starts to grow? The man who lives in the shadows. There is a man who lives in the shadows. Don't look, it is rude if you stare. Besides, who knows where he is hiding? In the dark at the top of the stairs, in the cold beyond the kitchen window, or the shadow behind the fire's grate. Does he stand by the wall right behind you? Or under the bed does he wait? The man who lives in the shadows has a thin, sharp, sickle smile. He likes to whisper through cracked windows, or leer over a sleeping child. Sometimes tired new mothers feed babes, not knowing that the man is there. Once they've left, he runs his sharp and curved nails right through the sleeping infant's hair. The man who lives in the shadows may well be standing with you now. There may be a way to repel him, but if there is, I don't know how, except to keep your lights brightly burning and hope he does not choose to breathe his chilly breath down your exposed spine, or tug at the edge of your sleeve. If you would banish him forever, then you must breathe a holy prayer. But see that you hold to your faith tight, or he may hide under the stairs. There is a man who lives in the shadows, but do not despair. If you're good, then the shadow man cannot harm you, peer, gape, or scowl as he would. Into the gold mine. It has been there for decades, the old gold mine. So many souls have sweated there to haul up from the distilled darkness a glinting treasure. Now, the survivors must walk an hour deep into the bowels of the mountain to have any hope of gain. Men have been disappearing there for eons. Sometimes rocks fell on them, burying their cries, crushing blood and bone into powder. Other times, they simply wandered away, ignoring the calls of their fellows, into tunnels that narrowed until only worms could pass them. Yet still, they walked, ignoring the pain. The tallyman knows the truth. He remembers the faces of the lost. Although by now, the names have started to fade. The managers, too, have heard the whispers of death, and the sounds of the camp men crying. Every so often, viewing the mine's mouth from a distance, the white-collared men shiver in recognition, then lock their doors. So when the whistles ring, the hollow men come marching, their headlamps choking in the darkness. The moving damned march down into hell. Though not alive, the mine is still ravenous, as are the men, yearning for a gleam of light. On shining yellow veins that promise riches, the mountain lullabies to terror with the lie that they'll be back home in 12 hours, to eat their stew and drink their gin and swear, or fold their sorrow into the bodies of soiled doves, who whisper sweetness briefly, then forget. So men go down into Gehenna never to return. The earth swallows their bodies, paying for them with gold. That should be silver, shining silver, gleaming, ringing, silver, 30 pieces at that. Pity them who meet the teeth of the mountain, who enter the maw of the underdark, and spiral down its throat. Poor sacrifices. But know the truth. Those above living in opulence, paid for with the blood of others, may think they have escaped the age-old hunger, but one day, they will be swallowed the deepest. The places where men should not go. There are places where men just should not go. Areas so dark and so cold that their emptiness clings on tightly and hard to the rough, bleak, and aching hurts of old. Such places have a hungry appetite, a dark, a wild, and a ravenous heart that beckons the mind and would chain the soul, so that never more can it depart. So, should you go wandering into the night, deprived of soft and restful sleep, and hear a faint and wistful voice on the wind, whispering that you should keep them company in the mellifluous dark, in places both eldritch and new. Oh, my dearest soul, run quickly, go, 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 or the creatures will surely get you. The Nameless. Do not ask to know my name, I am what you don't see. In the dark underneath the stairs, I've caused armies to flee. I've made saints tremble on their knees and set great kings to weep. I've kept 10 generations from slipping to restful sleep. I am the shiver in the night that traces up your spine and makes you sit awake till dawn for fear of me and mine. I am what hunted your forebears through the Stygian night. I am what fouled Eve's innocence and caused her to feel fright. So do not seek to know my name or hope it to repeat. Instead, forget you've heard of me and pray we never meet. Well, that last poem said it all. I certainly hope not to meet any of the spooks referred to in any of the poems. I also found the poem about the gold mine particularly unnerving. The idea of going down and down in the dark, nothing but rock above you and darkness and dangers below. It makes me shudder. Which of the poems did you find the creepiest? Let me know in the comments below. What will we be reading next week? Do you have any preferences? As always, do let me know. I love to hear what does and does not hit the spot for my listeners. Right, I will bid you good night now. I have been invited to visit a lunar garden, a garden full of plants that only flower in the brightest of moonlight. Hopefully, drinking in the beauty of all that flora will cleanse my mental palate from the shivers in tonight's poems. Enjoy your night, my delicious darlings, and don't be afraid to watch some funny cat and dog videos if you need to. See you again next week.